guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. Today we're gonna go ahead and sweep the Wicked Bloodline red zone with the Carnival LR Goku team. There's a lot of these different sort of challenges I'm working on at the same time right now, right? Like I've gotten, a couple of runs done with this team over there and this team over there. There's the 4 new 200% teams that were introduced during this worldwide celebration. I'm still working through doing runs with 3 of the 4. I've completed Goku and Vegeta's team, and then of course I want to come into the Wicked Bloodline red zone again and finish it with all the newer 200% or all the older 200% teams like the Resurrection of Blues, again U4, stuff like that. Again, the Wicked Bloodline red zone is actually quite powerful. I think once you start taking in maybe like some, I don't know if I want to say subpar teams, but when you move away from like the big major teams, these stages do get very tough. Now, Goku's team here, Carnival LR Goku's team, it's not the greatest, right? It's actually very helpful for the team that the Part 2 LR Goku and Vegeta is on here. A huge asset to this Carnival Goku LR team, right? For sure. But this team can be very finicky. Carnival Goku is incredible, but the way he's designed, you want like one revive unit on the team, and it's going to be him, right? But running him as our lead, and then of course we're running a friend version of him as well, that means we're going to have 2. So once one revives, that one permanently has guard, but like if you're running a Carnival Goku on each rotation, when one dies and revives, you go into the next turn, and that Goku is not guarding, right? So it just becomes very scary, and it could be very, very rough, depending upon the situation. Right here for this rotation, keep in mind that STR Namek Goku or STR Ultimate Gohan, both characters we've used a lot, during this run. They're so helpful with the guard and the defense, stuff like that. But if they get hit by a physical enemy, that activates their guard ability for the next couple of turns. So, we know that STR Namek Goku will be guarding for a while. And obviously in a lot of these fights, we want to try and not transform or not revive as long as possible into it. But, sometimes you get cooked, right? This Frieza fight can be problematic. It's mostly the end of it, though. Occasionally, this second form Frieza can catch you. Not really too much you could do about that, right? Sometimes he just... In particular, Namek Goku is the one that does seem to get blasted off, right? But he can sort of catch you sometimes, the second form Frieza, with his active skill. So, we really need to be careful of the final form Frieza towards the end. If possible, we want to try and keep him from super attacking a lot, because that final form Frieza at the end there, every time he super attacks, he's stacking attack, and then it just makes full power Frieza very tough to deal with. We also have to be very careful with the AGL LR Goku and Vegeta, right? Because with them, tech full power Frieza at the end, he's tech, and hits really hard. Depending upon how many super attacks the AGL Final Form Frieza gets off, this full power Frieza is hitting harder than Omega Shenron's super attack, right? So we need to try and make sure, if possible, if we can, we got a really good potential turn right here, right? If we wanted to, try and greed out Goku getting their transformation, Goku and Vegeta getting their transformation, by needing to be hit right there. We got very lucky, but it's like sometimes you got to take a risk like that with this character, right? They need to super attack 3 times and be hit 7 times. Bam, right there, we just take 1,000,000 attacks and we're probably in good position, right? But this fight, major things to worry about are second form Frieza's AoE, final form Frieza stacking attack, and then full power Frieza hitting you like a nuclear bomb, right? Just sort of avoid those things and we can be good. Alright guys, now we're moving on to the second fight in the Wicked Bloodline Red Zone. Going up against Final Form Cooler. This is one of the nastiest fights in the game. Final Form Cooler here is a real problem. He just does so much damage early in these fights, man. It's crazy how hard this guy hits immediately in turn 1, right? So, powerful comeback. Again, I don't want to say Goku's team sucks. I don't want to say it's like super good. It's like kind of in the middle, but it is a true 200% leader skill, right? We're getting the full 200% for all the characters, which is very helpful. But we don't really have as many options as I would like. I feel like maybe we could have rocked the, Gohan and Goku exchange unit. That might have been a good idea. But this Cooler, the entire way through this fight, just hits so hard. It's unbelievable how hard this Cooler hits, man. He does so much freaking damage at all points. Now, because I wanted to rock physical, like, the second phase, this Int Final Form Cooler is a menace, right? Like, I've had him one-shot the Resurrection F Blues, one-shot Ginyu, like, this Cooler fight is really tough, right? So, I actually wanted to try LR Metal Cooler. I believe I was using a different build here, and I tried LR Metal Cooler. I know it seems weird, right? Because it's like, Cooler doesn't exactly share links with any of the units on the team. And then, remember, we only get one revive per team. Now, Cooler doesn't need the revive, whereas, you know, the two Gokus can definitely make use out of it a little bit more. But here's the thing, right? Goku revives, and then the next Goku in the next rotation is not guarding, and you're in trouble. But if Cooler dies, you get the full heal, and then Goku in the next rotation is guarding, right? Which is exactly what happens right here, right? Cooler does die. Now, we get the revive here, but the main reason we're bringing Cooler is to help us out against the Final Form Cooler, right? Because remember, Final Form Cooler, his super attack is basically Omega Shenron level, but it's like a physical, right? So Cooler could nullify it. So I'm using LR Metal Cooler in this fight as, I mean, I don't know how to say it, virtually, think of him in sort of like the AGL Golden Frieza role or something like that, I guess. Like Easy A AGL Golden Frieza. But remember, Metal Cooler can still give us a lot of health, right? He's still healing at the start and end of each turns, which, can be very advantageous. But this is just a very tough fight, right? There are other characters I could have tried to cycle on, right? I definitely lost a couple of times trying Namek Goku and STR Ultimate Gohan, because, I mean, this fight starts, this Cooler is cutting Namek Goku in half, right at the start. This Cooler just hits so hard, this AGL Cooler right here. And STR Ultimate Gohan, same thing with him. Like, if he's not, if you don't get the guard with him right away, it is so spooky using him in here, so you've got to be very careful. This is just a super tough fight, right? You just have to honestly get sort of lucky with where Cooler aims his attacks, hopefully away from the squishy characters, right? I don't like the idea of using LR Tech Gogeta in here either. This Cooler, he is just he just is hitting way too hard, I think, to potentially try like LR Tech Gogeta or something like that. So, there we go. We do actually manage to make it through our boy, Cooler. Look at that damage, dude. He just hits so hard. This Cooler is tough, man. This guy is a real problem to sort of make it through. But we managed to beat Final Form Cooler. We best him. You know, LR Goku and Vegeta, you know, when they start busting out all these super attacks and stuff like that, it is very helpful. And then right here, here's where Metal Cooler can help out quite a bit, right? Is, you know, the healing at the start and at the end of the turn just can be a real huge asset, especially towards making it through a ridiculous fight like this one, right? Alright guys, now we are fighting Mecha Frieza and King Cold. This fight is just a complete free pass, right? This is a super easy fight. It's like, I can understand them making a kind of an easier fight right here, but I would say I feel like this is probably a little too easy. I don't know. It's not, I guess it's not the biggest deal that, of the 5 fights we have here in the Wicked Bloodline Red Zone, one of them doesn't have to be, a battle against Hellraiser, right? Like, I guess it's fine. Not really too much to talk about with here. The beginning of this fight, only one Frieza soldier can super attack the AGL1 at the start. And then once we get to Phase 2 against Mecha Frieza and King Cold, you want to focus fire on King Cold first, even though Mecha Frieza hits harder than King Cold. King Cold is the character who is sealing you at the start of each turn, right? So if you take out King Cold first, then you're just going up against Mecha Frieza, who is not even that hard-hitting of a boss, right? It's just King Cold's seal, which you have to kind of look out for, because bosses sealing can be very tough. With the huge amount of characters that raise defense on super attack, you do want to be careful of bosses getting seals off, right? So we just use a lot of, very obvious, powerful characters for this run right here. We're able to beat it pretty effortlessly. Again, Mecha Frieza and King Cold really is a very easy fight. Alright guys, now we are fighting Metal Cooler. Now this is where stuff gets real tough. This fight was very hard for this team. You might think, oh, well, you got double Carnival Goku, it's so easy, but dude, this Cyclopean guard at the start right here, man, he gets one super attack off on you at the start, and you are playing behind the entire fight. It can be very rough. Now, we fight the Cyclopean guard, who is physical. That can be an advantage for us if we want to try EZA Namek Goku or S-Tier Ultimate Gohan, right? Utilizing these two characters here. Remember, the way both of them work is that they have a chance to guard, and then when their guard activates, they get it for many turns. So what happens is if S-Tier Ultimate Gohan, who of course started out in slot 7 when I need him to get hit here, but if S-Tier Gohan gets hit, his guard, like, the game counts it as guard, even if his, passive guard didn't activate. So then he'll get it for the couple of turns when he does activate it for. So it's like we have Ultimate Gohan get hit by the Cyclopean guard, and then we know he'll have the guard when we're moving into the AGL Metal Cooler portion of this fight. Metal Cooler is very tough. The thing that was scary, I lost to this guy several times, right? Because he just hits so hard, and it's like, I do feel like his heal does cause this fight to take a little bit longer, especially if we're not using one of these ridiculously overpowered teams like, I don't know, LR Vegeta and Trunks' team, or like Final Form Cooler's team or something like that. It's like, yeah, again, Carnival Goku, like, we're on a true 200% leader skill team, which is very helpful and all that. But this team can be very finicky because Carnival Goku, when his guard is up, yeah, he's great. But he still has to take that first hit. You want to hope that hopefully, Metal Cooler is not going to super attack first hit or something like that and just completely destroy us instantly, right? You got to be hoping for things like that. But when Goku's guard is not on, which happens when we're under 60% HP, and then, like, we've already revived with one of them, things just get very, very scary with this team, man. Having to run double Carnival Goku. I actually, in some of these fights, I do like the idea potentially of running the double Ultimate Gohan rotation, Tech Ultimate Gohan and S-Tier Ultimate Gohan. As long as S-Tier Ultimate Gohan can get his guard, that can work. Because again, it's Carnival Goku can keep you high of health, right? He can keep you above the threshold, but even he can take a lot of damage, right? And the thing about these Wicked Bloodline fights, besides Full Power Frieza, which is a huge fight, these fights are all like 2 phases. So it's like Carnival Goku, we don't have all day and night with him to stack up 100-year-long fights, right? Like, these are fast fights, very quick, right? Whereas, Broly is 4 different phases, Omega is 3 different phases, right? Almost all these Wicked Bloodline fights are 2 phases, except for the first one against Full Power Frieza. So you don't have a lot of time to stack. You just need your powerful characters out there right away, right? Now, Goku eats that for 96k right there, which is literally, that's exactly what we want to see. But I promise you, that 96k Goku took right there, that could turn into 300 plus k very, very fast, right? Depending upon, if Goku has his guard up or if Metal Cooler super attacks right away. Now, one thing I haven't mentioned in this video yet, one super important thing about Goku that was helpful at times is his active skill, right? When you get his active skill, you can, basically attack break the enemy's first action. We do that. I did that numerous times in this Metal Cooler fight. I would break his action, only for it to be that the bastard's super attack was his second attack. I don't know what it is with this Metal Cooler, but that happened to me several times, where I attack braked his first action with Goku's active skill, only for the piece of shit to then follow suit with the second attack being the super. Real pain in the ass. We were able to get the W in this run. Probably not too surprising, because we got very good RNG with Goku and Vegeta, right? Having Goku and Vegeta transformed once we get to this Metal Cooler portion is so big for us. You guys also might have noticed UI Goku on a lot of these teams. Yeah, guess what? Most of these fights, we don't have time to stack up all day and night, right? To where it's like, oh yeah, turn 50, right? Like, this character's a huge defense. We need characters who could live early in these fights. And UI Goku, man, I'm glad, because, you know, people hate on that UI Goku. He could still put in work, right? One of the really tough fights in the game, Broly cancels dodge. Of course, UI Goku is a complete non-factor in that fight. But, you know, all these other crazy red zone fights, UI Goku is a great option. I mean, if he gets supered, he dies. Yeah, just like literally 99.9% of the rest of the game, right? Like, it's like most of these kids, like LR Tech Gogeta eats a super attack from this metal cooler and he's taking 400k damage, right? Like, it's very difficult to tank some of these bosses unless we're talking about the true, like, creamy units right here. Oh, yeah, this rotation right here is so scary. I think we end up putting, like, I kind of, like, figure out what I want to do here, and we leave Ultimate Gohan in the middle slot. He doesn't guard. He takes, like, 500k damage in one hit, but we do manage to beat Metal Cooler. This is a tough fight. A lot of these Wicked Bloodline fights are tough, man. Alright guys, next we're going into this fight against the Metal Cooler Core. This fight is hell, dude. This is a this is a tough fight right here. This Metal Cooler Core. So, right here at the start, remember that this unit is double supering us basically every single turn, right? We have to be very, very careful of him hitting these double supers on us constantly. When he super attacks, he then lowers our defense too, which is really just very, very problematic, having to deal with a boss that's double supering and then lowering our defense, and can really make it a struggle, I've found, to sort of stay afloat in these fights, right? Like, it could be very tough with this guy double supering. And then once we make it to the actual Metal Cooler Core, the damage that boss is doing is ridiculous. And then, of course, we have the seal that we have to worry about. There's just a lot of nastiness that happens in this fight. Now, we did bring Ultimate Gohan and Namek Goku, Easy and Namek Goku. I mean, we're going to take damage. There's not really anything we can do about that. Like, yeah, guess what? We're going to get slapped around by Cooler in here. He just hits way too hard. Especially after the Metal Cooler Core supers, right? Like, he super attacks, and it's just like, the amount of damage he's doing for, like, the rest of the turn, once we get to the core part, is just, it's obscene. right? How hard this guy is hitting. It's like, I don't want to say he's like Cell Max level in terms of his damage, because Cell Max is hitting harder, but like you got to be very careful, very cautious with this guy in terms of how much damage he potentially can do, right? Now, we're using a lot of familiar faces here. Again, UI Goku is fantastic for these fights, because UI Goku, he's here to dodge, right? That's, as long as he's doing this right here, we're good. And you guys know I've got the full dodge build on him for a reason, because UI Goku is not here to do damage. That is not his role. Any extra damage he does, sure, we'll take it, but I need that boy to dodge every single possible attack he can. Now, looks like we get a very, very, very fortunate sort of break right here. Goku and Vegeta were in slot 7, which can be a pain in the ass, but this... Were they in slot 7? They might have been. But, this right here can be a huge pain. Like, having them get their hits and super attack. These metal coolers, they attack more often. I know, I think they were in the first attack. I'm crazy. Don't mind me. But this fight is designed for that Goku and Vegeta, right? Because this metal cooler army attacks, I think it's 11 times this first phase, which, like, that's only what, like, some, like, final phases in a lot of these red zone fights do. They just attack so many times because it's designed in such a way to where you'll be able to transform with Goku and Vegeta, right? It makes sense because they're the unit that finishes a metal cooler core off. So we get here. This is where dude, I had several runs die because dude, he could just seal you every single turn, and, you know, tough. Like, yeah, nothing you could do, right? He's cutting your damage off, stopping some of your stacking characters, right? Obviously, we want Carnival Goku to super attack right here and stack up, but do we get a chance to? No, hell no, we don't. Then we get freaking blasted. Look at this. That's Goku. He's guarding. That's him guarding, by the way. He's eating 400k damage. This cooler does not play games, dude. Like, this is gonna be a tough fight to no item with some of these 200% teams, man. It's like, I don't know if all these teams have the necessary options to get this done. This is going to be very, very problematic. Now, we get very fortunate on this turn right here, right? This is probably one of the reasons we're able to catch our W with this, because I'm able to use Goku's attack break active skill right there, and that allows Goku to get another stack in, which of course is so important, right? Because Cooler's first action is going to be canceled. Remember that Goku is not guarding here, right? You could see that we would revive if we die right here. And, you know, that allows Goku to get a stack in, because I bet you Goku probably dies if he gets hit right there, but because we're able to break that action, that allows us to potentially get another stack in and a little bit more damage. Sometimes the thing you have to understand playing around a little bit with, like, you know, these revives and stuff like that is... the boss, like, when they just instantly kill you, like, you revive, sure, that's great, but, like, you know, we made no headway in the fight. Like, we barely did damage, right? And then there was Goku and Vegeta sealed right there. Like, if this guy just seals all your hard hitters every single turn, eventually he's gonna catch you. He just hits way too hard. This metal cooler core, he hits way too hard. You are going to get caught. But the good thing for Goku's team here is Namek Goku, SR Ultimate Gohan, Tech Ultimate Gohan. Like, we have a solid couple of units here who could help us out quite a bit. Oh, yeah, okay, dude, yeah, oh my god, we got a couple of turns of really good luck right here. So remember, this Carnival Goku in slot 1 is not guarding. He is not guarding on this turn, this Goku right here. And then Metal Cooler Core, he just only put one attack at the start for us, which is beautiful. So that means that right there, broken, goodbye. And then, of course, Easy Namek Goku, he's going to be guarding the entire rest of this fight right here. Because, you know, Metal Cooler is physical, and then, you know, we're slowly able to sort of get through it. But, yeah, very tough, dude. The Wicked Bloodline Red Zone, man, it ain't easy in here. This team has limited options, so it's like I pretty much had to run very similar lineups out for all these fights, but holy, was this one tough. So let me know what you guys think of the Carnival Goku team sweeping the Wicked Bloodline Red Zone. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time.